I fucking hate this movie. Also, hello everybody, I am the SpiderMan, the embracer of human good and analyst of fiction. And this is actually going to be a bit easier. And I'm not just saying that because everybody hated this film, unlike the first one, which somehow got decent appraisal from folks. And because of that decent appraisal, Sony gave you your wish and gave you The Amazing Spider-Man 2. But nothing further than that, because they must have realized by now what a horrible mistake these two movies alone were. I'm sorry I took so long last time because there was so much that I could remember off the top of my head that I had to get out there, even if it took almost half an hour, 25 minutes, I don't know. But I promise to be as short as I can for this one, because there is a lot to hate about this movie. Is it as bad or even worse than the first film? We'll see. And hopefully I can summarize concisely, unlike the first one, which I really hated. Okay, let's begin. So, this one opens up with, ironically, another decent opening with a plane scene and Peter Parker's parents and being attacked by this Oscorp agent, I think. And they get killed off in the plane crash, because that's supposed to build intensity or whatever. And then we have the beginning of Spider-Boy time with his fancy spider insignia as he's jumping off and swinging around the city and doing his Spider-Boy things. He's just swinging around and fighting off Paul Giamatti, Russian guy with a rifle and everything. And while he's doing all this, there's like a bunch of radio commentary talking about how great of a hero he is, basically praising him as Spider-Boy Messiah or whatever. He's only been around for 2 or 3 years maybe, and he's already being praised in such a glamorous, glorious way. Fuck that. And then they have a little graduation scene where Gwen's calling him, hey, you better get over here. And Peter arrives like a fucking idiot as always, while Stan Lee, may he rest in peace, Stan Lee, makes his funny little cameo saying, hey, I know that guy. And then I think right after the graduation scene, again, this is loosely on memory. This is based solely on loose memory, since I haven't seen these movies in fucking forever, and rightfully so. After this graduation scene, Peter and Gwen talk about how Gwen wants to move to Paris, France, and study abroad, and I don't know, I think she wants him to stop being Spider-Man, or to come with her, or whatever. Who the fuck cares at this point? And, I think before the graduation scene, we have a little Max Dillon introduction where Spider-Boy tells him, you're my eyes and ears, you're the big man, okay? Gee, he's not going to regret that later, is he? And I think it's after the whole Paris, I want to go to Paris conflict subplot ensues that we see just how pathetic of a fanboy Max Dillon is of Spider-Boy, because who else to worship besides a fucking selfish idiot who does nothing except appease his Gwen Slutsy girlfriend, am I right? Ugh. And then there's a little reunion with childhood friend Harry Osborn, between Harry Osborn and Peter Parker. Woo. But Norman Osborn is on the verge of death. In fact, I think he literally dies right after the scene where he talks to Harry one last time, asking him, have you had the signs of sickness or whatever? Because apparently Harry Osborn is sick from the same thing he is, because it's genetic or something. From experiments, because of experiments on a Norman Osborn from a long time ago? I don't know. But then, Harry and Peter have some more touching buddy-buddy time. And I think this inspires Peter to do what he was trying to do in the early parts of the first film and find out the truth about his father, to bring closure on that. He sneaks into Oscorp again, investigates Oscorp again, and finds some stuff while Gwen Slutsy helps him again, conveniently meeting Harry Osborn and Max Dillon to show how important of a character she is, which she's not. And then right after this, Max Dillon has this freakish little accident that turns him into Electro, in which he accidentally drops into a vat of radioactive electric eels or something that bite him all over, and he turns into Electro, with some pretty awesome music, by the way. I mentioned before how I love Hans Zimmer's music, and that alone, and the fact that his music clearly is stylized greatly in this movie, made me want to look up the whole trivia about music in these movies and all. Again, sorry about that. It kills the whole theme of what I remembered and whatever, but still. So meanwhile, Harry Osborn is being fucked around with by other Oscorp executives who want to keep him out of the loop, who find out about Max Dillon's accident and want to keep him invisible, which doesn't really help much. And after Harry has this cute little buddy relationship with Felicia Hardy, played by the now famous British actress Felicity Jones, if I'm remembering that right. Max Dillon escapes from wherever he was being kept out, which clearly had the worst security ever, like fucking Oscorp does. He escapes and accidentally causes mayhem downtown. Spider-Boy comes to the rescue and says his stupid jokes that only make the situation worse and just make Max madder and madder at him, until at one point, literally all the news cameras turn from Max to Spider-Boy, and Max idiotically assumes that this was all a trap to make Spider-Boy look more famous, to give more glory to Spider-Boy. And then Electro attacks him, and he gets hosed down by Spider-Boy and firefighters with a cute little Spider-Boy with a firefighter hat thing going on. And then Electro is being incarcerated at Ravencroft, I don't know, a Ravencroft institution, prison or something, where Dr. Kafka, a German madman, is keeping him prisoner and experimenting on him. Honestly, the Dr. Kafka and Electro scene is perhaps the only good scene in both of these fucking films that I actually liked. I mean, obviously, so much of the context is so utterly ridiculous, but as far as that scene plays out, where Max officially adopts the persona of Electro, it's actually a good scene. The music, the pacing, and everything is actually solid enough, I would say. And Peter and Gwen continue having their stupid romance thing. Like, who the fuck cares at this point? It's just basically the same stupid romance nonsense from the first film. And it was but it was so worth it with having the Bahamas of hiding places joke we had earlier in this stupid movie. Ugh. Harry Osborn is desperate, idiotically desperate, that he wants blood from SpiderMan, who he just assumes must have had the same cross-species genetic stuff that could help cure Harry. But Spider-Boy, rightfully so, tells Harry, look, man, I don't think this is going to work. I don't want to risk killing you, making your condition worse, whatever. And Harry, like a moron, yells out, You're selfish! You're all selfish! None of you want to help me! I'm gonna beat up shit and stuff. Excuse me. But then, let's see here. What else happens, if much of anything happens at this point? Harry finds out about Electro, breaks him out, which Electro eagerly accepts because Harry needs him. You need me? You need me? Apparently, if you tell this idiot that you need him, he'll help you with anything. So now Harry Osborn and Electro are teamed up, and they're taking down Oscorp, and more grand idiocy it presumes. Continues. And then we have this stupid bridge scene where Spider-Boy literally webs up "I love you" on one of the bridges, and Gwen is tearing up and, oh, that's so sweet, and like, yeah, who cares about all the possible traffic jams you're causing as long as he puts up that fucking message and webs and then takes you away up to the top of the bridge, which he could have done in the first place to be all romantic and shit. But then we have our climax where where Electro is taking over the electric power grid that he designed, that he created, whatever. And meanwhile, Harry is tapping into some really secret stuff that will supposedly cure him, but ultimately makes him the Green Goblin, which he is not. Spider-Boy and Electro have this big fight in the electric grid and whatnot, and Spider-Boy ultimately kills him. He flat out kills him. Yeah, like, that's not... There's no moral dilemma there or anything. He just flat out kills him by overloading him with all the electricity around the grid through Gwen Slutzy's help, of course, even though he tried to tape her to the car and she idiotically yells, "Peter!" Oops. And by the way, all those scenarios from the first movie where he should have been caught, he does insanely obvious actions that should have outed him out as a superhero. Thankfully, they're not here. They're not here as much in this movie, which I should point out at this point. So after killing Electro, the Green Goblin comes out of nowhere and comes out of nowhere, fights Spider-Boy after realizing that he's Peter because, wait a minute, if Spider-Boy's here and Gwen's here, Spider-Boy's here and Gwen's here, who I only met once or twice, is here, that must mean you're Peter. I just love how Spider-Boy doesn't deny that he is fucking Peter. They have their fight, and Spider-Boy tries to keep Gwen safe while taking on the Goblin at the same time. The Goblin is taken down, but, just like in the comics, by his own web, Spider-Boy kills Gwen Slutzy! Woohoo! Woohoo! And it's so sad, and oh, how could I let this happen? I was going to give up being Spider-Boy for her, I think. Again, this movie was so fucking stupid. I'm gonna quit being Spider-Boy now. It's been 6 months and I'm still not Spider-Boy anymore. Hey, as stupid of a thing as that is him retiring because he couldn't save his stupid slut girlfriend, that's still as good of an ending as any. But of course, because the Rhino is on the loose and this stupid kid comes out, like, he dresses up in a little Spider-Boy outfit and steps out and tries to face the fucking Rhino on himself, and the police can't do anything about it. There's a kid in the fucking streets of this madman, you fucking morons! Go out there and protect him, at least shield him, even if it means the cost of your own life. That's what policemen, that's what heroes are supposed to do. But of course, Spider-Boy comes around, tells the kid to go to safety, and we don't even see a fight between him and the Rhino. He just says, "It's good to be back," or "I love this town," whatever. He starts to fight him by webbing this sewage lid thing. Sorry, these movies are so stupid I can't even recollect simple terms like that. The sewer lid thing, and swings it at the screen, and the movie ends. Like, no mid-credits or post-credits scene, the movie just ends. Or at least I think that's what happens. And they didn't even have a final swing scene like they did in the first movie, or the Sam Raimi films. Or, they don't even have a final swing in fucking Spider-Man Homecoming now that I think about it. But whatever, the movie's done. And I fucking hate this movie. But it's not quite as bad as the first movie. Oh, believe me, this movie is bad. Really, really bad. Horrendous, even. Possibly just as much as everyone has said over the past few years or so since its release. But at least it tried to be a little better than the first fucking movie. At least they tried to make all the characters a little bit more competent and more likable as compared to the first film. It didn't work much. It barely did. I mean, I did sympathize with Max Dillon a bit with his whole outsider being invisible thing. His backstory in regards to that. But again, at least they try to be a little bit better. At least they try to be a little bit more competent. At least they try to make the movie as a whole a very stable picture. Barely better. I still fucking hate this movie almost as much as this movie, but ultimately at least it tried to be a little bit more right. And that is more than I can say for the first fucking film. Whew. That's it. Guys, thank you so much for staying with me and spending all this time over the past couple of days looking over these videos, these skit videos I've made of what I remembered. So, again, did I remember it right? Did I remember the first movie right from the other video? Did I remember this movie right from today? And yes, I did, just so you know, I did shoot these videos one after the other because I really got to get them out of my system, even if I'm not releasing them in the same day. But, thanks very much for sticking around, and hopefully I will eventually make my first reviews soon and get them out there. They're still in development, and I'll have a lot more what I remembered and other SpiderMan videos coming out soon. And yeah, thanks for sticking around for my reenactments of these fucking films. What should I do next for what I remembered? Maybe some Christmas movies, perhaps? Oh, Christmas is coming? December is coming? That's perfect! I've got some really good oldies that I can reenact for this. Okay, I gotta get to work. Thank you so much for sticking around. I am the SpiderMan, the embracer of human good and analyst of fiction, and fuck the Spider-Boy movies. And on to some Christmas movies, I guess. See you guys around. Bye.